Hey guys, this is gonna be my first, book recommendation outside of witchy books. Uh, Eventually I'll get more witchy books, but I have to have money to do that because they don't have many you can find on the library's website. So, after this one, I'm gonna do the other ones that I've done up until this point, or if they're like in certain categories, do it by categories, because a lot of them have been digital, so I have to get like the pictures of them. So yeah, if this doesn't go too well, then I will I will just send it to my TikTok. The brain fog is real today. You should have seen what I did to my poor kid earlier. He wanted a donut, and I took him a plate, set the plate down, and pulled out a donut and left. And then I'm wondering why he's freaking out, and I'm just like, what, did you eat it already? I go in, the kid hasn't had his donut yet. So yeah, I felt bad, but I also couldn't stop laughing. However, he wasn't amused. Anyways, he did get his donut, and now I'm ranting. So the first book is a good girl's guide to murder. These are all by Holly Jackson. Now this first one is about a girl named Pip, and there's like some type of school paper for her senior year. I can't remember if it says the topic or not, what it's originally supposed to be about or the reason for it. Anyway, she ended up picking the case of these two dead kids that were killed 5 years before this. They know that the girl was murdered, but they could never find her body. And then the guy was her boyfriend. And they assumed, there was not that much of evidence, but they assumed that he killed his girlfriend and then committed suicide. And she thinks that the guy was framed and wanted to figure out where the body of the dead girl was. So she goes to get this guy's brother's house, and she tells him about, the school paper, and that she thinks he's innocent, and that she wanted to know if she could interview him. He ended up letting her interview him, and they went on a pretty big adventure, and they did find the girl's body. Someone did get arrested, which caught me by surprise, and she did clear his brother's name. But in the end, him and this guy ended up getting together through it all. So they're dating. Then the second one is Good Girl, Bad Blood. Pip and him are still dating. And they go on another adventure together. And so does one other guy, because this is about her friend that ended up disappearing. And her brother and mother came to her to ask her to interview them and to look into the case and to put on a podcast, because now she has a podcast called A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, if I remember right. And so then it's her boyfriend, and then the brother of the other guy that end up going on the hunt for this one guy, and they do find out who it is, and then that guy ends up getting shot by a kid who I guess had a twin sister. And this guy that got shot, this killer guy, he apparently was a kid himself with his dad 20 years before this. And they ended up luring kids together, and a couple of them got killed, and the guy with the gun was, I guess, the brother of the one kid. I think they were twins. And then they end up fleeing. So nobody knows where those two are yet. And yeah, this was really interesting. And then the one that really got me was her third book, As Good as Dead. I said these were all by Holly Jackson, right? And this one, I gotta turn down my heating pad, yikes. And this one, the two are still together. And they go on another adventure, but this one's a little twisted. And it got me yelling at Pip. And I know she can't hear me, but I was rolling with this one. But anyway, this time Pip's being stalked. And there's a killer she was looking into. I can't remember his name, like the name the police have for him. And she was looking into that, and then ironically, the mother of the guy in jail for the crimes that was like, I don't know, 10 years before this, called and said how her son was innocent and wanted to know if she would interview them and like use their story for the podcast and stuff. And she only had one interview, and then shortly after that she ended up getting kidnapped. And it was by the actual, like the original killer, and not the guy that's in jail. So the guy in jail was actually innocent. She managed to get free, and this is where it gets trippy. She ends up killing the guy. She was like running toward the forest to get the hell out of Dodge, but then the guy pulled up and was looking in there, and she ended up beating him in the head. She called it, and in the second book there was mention of a rapist that I forgot to mention about. He ended up getting out of jail, and it really pissed Pip off. So she's going through a rage in this book over this guy, and she even graffitied their door that said she will get him or something. And then when this happened, she ended up calling her boyfriend. She knew a lot about how to make it look like it was before when it happened, so the times was off. She ended up with a bunch of friends. They all got alibis and like went in front of cameras and stuff, so you knew where they were. And then toward the end, it was mostly just on her and her boyfriend. Like, the other people did not know that she murdered somebody. They didn't know what was actually going on. And so, like, she managed to get pieces of this rapist's hair and stuff and all sorts of wild shit, and ended up framing the guy. So, and then she went off to college. I was waiting for the trial to end, so she ended up finding reasons not to talk to her family, giving them excuses on her being busy and stuff. And then the other guy, I think his name's Raj, I'm not really sure, she told him how they had to have time apart until it went away or blew over in case she went to prison. Needless to say, she actually got away with it. He got charged. So this book gave me the most anxiety. I was flipping out on Pip, I'm not gonna lie. There is one more book that actually has Pip in it, but doesn't go with the series, and I want to get it. And it's the last one Pip will be in, I think. And then she has a newer book coming out, Campers, that I want to get. But she is like my favorite author now. So, let me know if you like this type of video. I'm not very good at explaining things. I should have done it when it was more fresh in my mind. I'm surprised I remembered that much. And I did this video like 3 times because of brain fog. So, hopefully it does well. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.